Roscoe, you wild.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Just Jay the podcast. We are still in season 6. Whenever I post a YouTube video, I always start the title of the YouTube video off with a question, and the question always somehow pertains to the episode or whatever I talk about. So the question for this one is, how do you recover from your losses? And what I mean by that is, I probably shouldn't use the word recover. I probably should use the word cope, because I feel like there's certain losses in your life that is going to take you a long time to kind of get over the hump from. And I think that there are some losses that you may never recover from. So I think coping would be a better word for that question. And what I mean by that question is, how do you get through the hard times in your life that feel like you're taking L after L and you're just going through a lot, and it seems like whenever you finally get your footing, another L comes in. So it's just like, how do you really cope with understanding that there's going to be certain seasons of your life that are going to be harder than others, that are supposed to teach you amazing, important, essential lessons, but are going to be so hard. So how, as a human, because I think every adult, male or female, you get to a point in your life. I'm in my 20s right now, and I'm really learning a lot about my life and a lot about just how to be an adult and how I want to carry myself and how I want to show up for myself and in my life. And a part of that comes with just the realizations of really being an adult who has no choice but to continue on with their life through the ups and downs. I think the realizations for me has been like, first of all, life is hard. It's going to always be like that. If life was easy, everybody would be happy, everybody would be smiling, but they would not know the ups and downs that it took to gain that strength or gain that knowledge and wisdom that they have, or that happiness that they have. So I think the journey for everybody is important. But for me, I've come to a different understanding that there are going to be a lot of things in my life that break me, or that may have me stumble a little bit, that are so unexpected and I may not have deserved them. But when I get to where I'm going later on in life, I will understand why they had to happen in the ways that they had to happen, if that makes sense. I feel like every episode I have something just like so heavy to talk about recently, and I don't really like that, but it's like, that's how my life is going right now. There's a lot of heavy things. There's a lot of things that feel like L's, and there's a lot of things that just are happening to me at one time that I just have to kind of put my seatbelt on and buckle down for and just ride the wave of each event. So it's unfortunate, and I'm sorry that it may feel that this is just a sad or low moment or low season in my life and in my podcast journey, but that's just what it is. And I feel like this has been the longest podcast season ever for me, because I just can't seem to finish it, because whenever I get the momentum back to start recording and start creating, something happens, and then it takes me a while to recover from that, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta finish this up, I gotta be sharp, I gotta keep doing it, and then something else will happen. So it's just like, I'm taking a lot of hits this season in life and in my podcast season, no pun intended, but I enjoy it, because it's like later on when I'm, a year from now or 2 years from now, when I'm actually in a whole different situation in life, I'm going to look back on these episodes and be like, yo, I was going through it. And I was taking it with such grace. And I'm just not somebody that is openly trying to continuously talk about the negative things that they have going on, or the negative things that are happening to them, because I'm just, like I've said so many times on this podcast before, I'm a solution-based person. Like, I always feel like whatever is bothering me, I either need to change my mindset to, improve the outcome of the situation or make it a positive situation, or whatever the case may be, or I just always want to fix my problem. And there are certain problems or certain losses or certain negative situations that you're going to go through in life, that you can't necessarily fix. You kind of just have to heal from them. So I say all that to say that was kind of my segue into the episode. I hope y'all fucked with that because that was very insightful and I felt very prophetic. If that's the word that I'm looking for when I was just talking. But as some of you may or may not know, if you do not follow me on Instagram, you probably wouldn't know. Today is Tuesday. In 2 days, it'll be 2 weeks since my dog passed away. Before he even passed away, I was not really present on the podcast. Like, I had dropped, my last episode was very good. I enjoyed it. I got a lot of feedback from it. It was really good. I was proud of it. And then the consistency just lacked, you know? And then my test for school was coming up, and then I found out that I failed part of it. So that's gonna like push back my graduation process, which is not the biggest deal now that it's like it happened weeks ago. But we'll get back to that another time. But that happened, and then my dog died. So it was just like, I just couldn't find a moment to even breathe in my life. So it was just, the podcast was not my main focus. And I'm happy because here I am to talk about it now, because it's been a couple weeks. It's been, you know, some time since some things have happened to me, and I'm ready to talk about them. I'm not going to say that I'm ready to talk about them because I won't lie. Like, yesterday I was so sad, and just like, I was down here laying on the couch for like hours, literally like, I want to say like 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours, and had no motivation to do anything. And I literally told myself yesterday, like, no, I'm going to get up tomorrow and I'm going to record about, you know, all my losses, and I'm going to just talk. And then I'm going to prepare for another recording that I have on Friday with an amazing guest that I'm so excited about. And I'm going to get my shit done. And I just feel like I was sitting down here earlier today, and I was just like so anxious about the things that I have to talk about, and just like, I don't know, I don't know. I guess I'm psyching myself out because I went to the store. I, you know, chilled down here for a little bit, and I cleaned up. Like, I literally was stalling to record this video, but I am happy to see how it goes. I guess I'll just say. First of all, thank you to everybody that supports my podcast. Thank you to all the viewers. My YouTube views are higher than they've ever been, and it's consistent. And I love that. I think that is so cool that people actually like look forward to my podcast, and they like, you know, enjoy the topics that I bring to the table and the people that I bring to the table. So I'm happy that I'm getting, you know, my flowers, and it's going well. The consistency part of it does suck because of just everything that I have going on, which I will talk about, you know, in a few minutes. But still, regardless, thank you to everybody that supports me. Thank you to everybody that supports my website. That's brand fucking new, that I haven't really gotten the most, like, I haven't been able to like really do everything that I wanted to do because of everything that's been going on. But thank you to everybody that has tuned into it. Thank you to everybody that is loving the blog. And if you're just an audio listener, I love you too, babe. I am not discriminating. I love a good audio and a good visual. So it's up to you to listen to it however you want to listen to it. But for me, I feel like my YouTube is where I'm really, really connecting with the audience, because they can see me. They can see my emotion. They can low-key feel my energy through the video. And I just feel like that is an easier way for me to really, really get in tune with my audience and really connect on the things that I'm talking about. So just shout out to everybody that's listening, whether you're watching or you're listening, it doesn't matter to me. I care about you. I love you. I hope that you really do fuck with my show, because I put my heart and soul into this show. And like I said, whether you listen to me through the audio way or visually on YouTube, I adore you and I appreciate you for that, because this is my baby and this is my life, and this is just me in the most rawest, truest, most genuine way. So to everybody that has supported it thus far, I appreciate you, for real. I guess we'll just get right into it. So like I was saying before, when I first started the episode, I was saying how I dropped my last episode that I dropped was cool. It was really good. I liked it. I liked all my talking points. I really got everything that I had to get out off of my chest, and I enjoyed that. Then after that, my consistency kind of lacked a little bit, and it was because I was, taking my tests for school. Unfortunately, which I have not talked about this on the podcast because I really was not ready to talk about it. But now that I've gone through so much and I'm kind of like healing a little bit, I feel like fuck it, like just it's not as big of a deal as it was when I first found out. But now it's just like a lesson that I've learned or whatever. So I had this big test for school. It was 2 parts. I needed to pass both in order to take my last course in order to graduate. I have 2 courses left. One mandatory course, like I said, that I needed to pass my test in order to take, and then another course that I can take no matter what. I failed one of my parts of my test, which is really not a big deal. I mean, when I was actually originally taking the test, there were other girls who had failed part of it and had to retake it too, so it's really not that big of a deal. But when I found out, I was so devastated because I was originally supposed to graduate in December. Now I may not graduate until next summer, which is, again, not really a big deal because I'm still graduating and still getting my master's in a timely fashion. But for me, I think I was so upset when I first found out because it was kind of like I had got a tutor. I was studying hard. I was really, really focused, and I was being responsible, and I was disciplined with everything in my life at that moment. Like I was getting my work done. I had my tutor. I had my podcast was, aligned up how it was supposed to be, and everything was just, I was really learning that like you have to really work for the things that you want to. School, to be honest with you, not gonna lie, school has always been my thing. I've always been a nerd. It's always been, I don't want to say quote unquote easy for me, but it's been something that I can do. But grad school has really shown me that this shit is different. Grad school is a whole different ballgame, and I'm grateful for my journey through grad school, but it has been hard. And I don't want to necessarily blame the institution that I'm at right now because I loved my choice when I made it, and this was my dream school. But I just think there's a lot of things that could have been better for me. I think a lot of my experiences at the school could have been better for me, and that's just really all I'm gonna say about it. But failed part of my test, what was I saying? Oh yeah, like it was detrimental for me because I just felt like I was so anticipating on just passing with flying colors and being done, because I had done all the work to really prepare for it. Like I really worked my ass off for that test, and don't get me wrong, the test was hard as fuck. Like it's a graduate course exam, so like it's going to be hard, but like I really felt like I really had a good handle on it. Turns out the second part, which I knew I was a little iffy about, the last 2 questions were so fucking hard. First question, I had an original answer, but then when you like be looking at a question too hard, then you second guess yourself and you go back and you change it. That's what I did. Unfortunately, my first original answer was fucking right. And I was really battling, going back and forth with myself, like, yo, is this right? Or like, it could be this, because it's just a tricky question, whatever. You always get, whatever. You always have those fucking hard things in life or hard questions in life, whatever. Turns out my original answer actually was correct. So I probably would have passed if I would have stuck with my first answer. But being that I literally found that out before summer even started. So my thing was like, damn, like I'm gonna go my whole summer being so upset about this because like now I have to wait a whole nother semester to take the test again. You know what I mean? I only have to take one part, the part that I failed, obviously, but I have to wait some time to take it again, and then I'm gonna have to wait some time to even take my class. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's going to prolong a lot of the things that I had felt like I was gonna have done in that time span. But at the end of the day, what I realized from it and the lessons that I've learned from it are, I've been asking for a break in my life in so many different ways. You know what I mean? Like I've always like, damn, I wish I could get a break with school, or I wish I could get a break with this, or like, you know what I mean? This is the universe is giving me a break, and just in a totally different way than I ever expected. They gave me what I asked for. So in my being that I've done some of the mental work behind it, it's like, okay, I'm gonna take the one class that I can take. I'm gonna sign up to take the test at the end of the next semester. And then honestly, that's really all I can do. I'm gonna have to study my ass off again, which is okay because like I know the material now. So like me and my tutor can really go hard on, and I know it's only me going into taking it one part of the test. You know what I mean? And I know how the test is laid out. I know everything behind it now. So it's like me and my tutor can really get to fucking work and do it's just going to be even better because I have more time to prepare, and also I know what I'm doing now. So like essentially it's really not a loss. It's just a minor setback for a major comeback. So that was something that was on my heart and on my mind for a long time, because I was just so sad. Because my dad also said to me, he said something amazing that is actually really, really fucking true. He was like, you know why you're taking this so hard is because you're used to winning in school. Because like I said, it's always been my thing. I've always been a nerd. I've always studied. I've always gotten my shit done. So this little minor L that I feel, it's not really an L, because other people would be like, damn, like the fact that you even went to pursue a master's degree is insane. Nobody in my family has done that besides my fucking genius cousins who I love, who are also Black queens. But nobody's doing what I'm doing when I'm doing it. I'm 23 years old, so upset, killing myself because I didn't pass one test. But my dad was like, you're still getting the master's degree. You have 2 fucking classes until you're done. Right now wouldn't be the time to quit and give up when you're so close to the finish line. You just had to go through this hurdle. And I think I was just so upset for a long time, because it was just like, damn, like I really thought my fucking educational career was going to be done in December. I was going to be able to wrap this up. I was going to be able to move. I was going to miraculously get all this money. It was going to be great. Like I had that mindset. And I think this is just, it just taught me like, yo, like sometimes your plan is not always the best plan. Sometimes your plan isn't always the smartest for you and for your path. So that I had to come to terms with. And I felt like me mentally getting over that, because realistically, like healing is extremely mental. Healing is extremely mental. Like I would get upset over that every day, and I would really have to sit down with myself and go through the notes in my head like, okay, that's not a loss. You're upset right now because you're used to taking wins in school. Sometimes you're not going to always win them all. And sometimes this is probably that break that you wanted so badly, that you've been asking for months. This is it. You're only gonna have to take 1 class this semester. You can work the 2 jobs that you want to work. You can stack your money, do your podcast, do that one class that you know is going to be a piece of cake for you because you're used to handling 3 at a time. You're getting your break. You know what I mean? So I literally have to go through that mentally every day so that my mind can kind of like ease up off of that negative thought and just be like, okay, we're cool. We're gonna chill here. We're just gonna let life be what it is. I think right now, when it comes to that situation, I'm really at like okay, it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. Like I'm gonna study, I'm gonna take the test when I can take the test, and take the class when I can take the class, and I'm graduate when I can graduate. You know what I mean? And that's just it. I found that out maybe like, I wanna say like a month ago now. Yeah. So the first 2 weeks, I think I was just on and off, back and forth, like, damn, my life, I what am I gonna do with my life? Like I literally felt like a bum ass bitch, and I don't know why, because I'm not. Like it was just I failed by 4 points. So it's like, girl, you know what you're gonna do the next time, and you're gonna kill it. So it's like, don't stress on that shit. So once I grasped that mentality and changed how I viewed that situation, and was finally getting, I had finally figured out, because I worked at a school this school year. So it's just like the decision of, are you going to do summer school? Are you going to work next year? I finally figured out my plans as far as that source of income for the next year and a half, or for the next year or so. That source of income is, working itself out. I have other, second sources of income that are also lining up. You know what I mean? And then my podcast is going right. And then it's like, once I feel like I had, everything was starting to figure itself out, everything was starting to get better for me, and I was getting comfortable in my flow of my life daily, my dog died. I'll show you pictures of him first so that you know who we're talking about, know the subject at hand. This is, I will never say was, this is my King Corse Bane, who was 4 years old. I'm sorry, who is 4 years old. I have to stop doing that. But yeah, this is him. I know that like there's gonna be so many like people watching this, waiting for this story, waiting to figure out like how everything happened and what just like the situation was, because I literally have been posting about him every day on my Instagram for the past 2 weeks. In 2 days he'll be gone for 2 weeks. And okay, I'm just gonna be so general, so basic, so straight to the point, because like I just feel like he was such a good dog and he was so happy all the time that it's important for me not to harp on the negative ass situation surrounding his death and focus on really how amazing and how happy and how good he was. So I walked in from work one day, last Thursday. No, the Thursday before last. And when he didn't get up to greet me at the door, I knew something was wrong. It was almost like a motherly instinct. Like I just knew something was wrong. I walked over to him and his eyes were open. And he just looked blank. So I was, pushing him. I'm like, yo, get up, what's up? Like, what are you doing? Walked upstairs, put my stuff down in my room and went to my dad's room. And I'm like, yo, what happened? What's going on with Bane? He's like, what do you mean? He was just up here. I'm like, what do you mean he was just up here? Basically, long story short, before I had, like 5 minutes before I had walked into the house, he was at the top of the stairs waiting for me. My conclusion is he was just like, fuck it, I don't know where she's at, I'm gonna just go lay down. My dad comes back downstairs with me and he's like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like he's pushing him, he's not responding, he's not moving, he's not breathing, nothing. Me now, I know that he was dead before I even got home. It's so weird me telling this story because I feel like there's no way I'm talking about my dog. Like that's crazy. Yeah. I'm having a lot of flashbacks right now. It's just crazy that I'm like, cause I haven't like actually said like what happened to like anybody outside of my house. So it's just like, whoa. My dad's like, yo, what the fuck? He's pushing him. He's like patting him, like, get up. And I'm screaming because I'm like, there's no way that I just walked into the house and this is what I see. Like, there's no way. I'm like screaming. I immediately called my mom because my mom was away in New Orleans on a business trip. She had like some cake classes and shit. So I'm calling her. I'm like, yo, Bane's not getting up. She's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I tell her what happened. She's like, y'all gotta go to the pet hospital right now. There's a pet hospital around the corner from my house. My dad's like, yo, I cannot pick this fucking dog up. He was like 170, 180 pounds. This is a fucking beautiful cane corso, all fucking muscle, like hard as fuck to pick up. So I'm like, fuck it, I got you. Me and my dad pick him up, put him in the back of my fucking truck. And my mom's still on the phone. I'm still screaming the whole time. My dad's crying because he's like, damn, like, what the fuck? Like, he's only 4. What is going on? Like, there's no way when he was just upstairs with me. Take him to the pet hospital. My mom was amazing the entire time. Like, she was on the phone with the pet hospital back and forth. Like, yo, you gotta, my daughter and her dad are on the way. Like, you gotta fucking help her with this dog. So immediately when I walked into the hospital, they already like put 2 and 2 together and was like, okay, this is her. Cause I was crying and shit. I'm like, yo, can y'all help me with my dog? They like, bro, 5 of them ran out, brought the dog inside. Like, they were amazing. This is what I will say about them. They were amazing, like amazing, right? So they put him on the table. They're trying to do CPR, and mind you, they're taking turns. It's a lot of them too. They're taking turns, like trying to do chest compressions and all that shit on this dog, and he was already dead. But I feel like the way that they saw me so distraught and me watching them, they're like, oh no, we gotta at least try something. He was already gone. They put us in a room with him. They put him on a blanket and gave him a pillow. They put us in a room with him. And like I said, my mom did her big one for me because she had called everybody that she knew I would have needed. My godmom was there. One of my mom's close friends was there. My best friend was there. My aunt, my uncle, my little brother, everybody was there to say goodbye to this dog. And I'm so happy because that was his norm. You know what I mean? Like, everybody that was in and out of the room with us was like who he knew, you know? So I'm like, I'm so happy that he's getting to go out this way. But I was in that room for hours. like hours. I was in that room for hours just crying, just holding him, like, and the one thing that I kept saying was like, yo, he's so cold. Because one thing about Bane, yo, he was always so warm. I remember I used to put my toes under his like little armpits, or like their arms. Yeah, I used to put my toes under there because he used to always be so warm. And it's just like, I don't want to get emotional because I don't want to be crying and I don't want to make it that type of thing. But what I will say is that I spent the last 4 years with that dog. When my dad brought him home when I was 19, I was still away at school, but I was in a relationship, so I would be back and forth home every fucking weekend or every other weekend. So I was home a lot. And the dog was really supposed to be for my little brother, but my little brother was young and he was just not like into dogs like that for real. So when I came home and I saw him, I ended up falling in love with him and he became my dog. So from 19 to 23, I went through some of the craziest shit ever that like you would never even believe. And when I tell you, every night that I was in this house, I was with that dog. Because everything that I would go through, he would go through it with me. And it was kind of like, it kind of feels like now my security blanket is gone. And like, I just don't really know where to pick up the pieces or how to like move on. Because what people don't understand about pet grief or like your pet dying is that everything in your life changes the moment they don't come home from the hospital. Like, you don't have to close all your doors anymore when you leave for work. You don't gotta let nobody outside when you go anywhere. You don't gotta wake up in the middle of the night because somebody has to go outside to go to the bathroom. You don't gotta feed nothing. You have all this dog food that like you don't need. Your life immediately changes. Like as soon as you walk in the house, there's nobody there to greet you anymore. Like that's one thing about Bane, like he was always so happy to see me. And my dad told me like when he died, he was like, you know, I used to be so offended because I used to walk into the house and he would like get up, be so excited, and then like he would see it was me, it was my dad and not me, and he would just go lay back down and just be like, ah, whatever, I'm just gonna go wait for her. Like he was so in tune with me. He was so proud of me. And I could tell that by like how he would just always want to be around me. You know, like if I was in my bedroom by myself and the door was closed, like he would bang on the door, like, let me in, girl. Like he would lay on my rug all day. Like he loved, that's one thing about Bane, he loved to take a fucking nap. And if I was tired, he was tired. And I will always miss his snore. He was a King Corso and they drool a lot. So I'll miss having to wipe his fucking drool 24 fucking 7. Oh my God. I'll miss hearing his nails on the floor. I'll miss everything. I literally will miss everything. And the sad part about it is as soon as I saw him like in the room at the hospital, I already missed him. Like I had already missed his personality the moment he died, you know, because I did not expect this. Like, oh, long story short, he had a heart attack in his sleep and he died. And my theory is that he was waiting for me and was just like, damn, I don't feel good. Like something's weird. I'll just wait for my mom to get home, and went to lay down and just fucking never woke up. Which I'm kind of grateful, because if he would have like, if I would have came home and we would have been playing and he would have died on me, that shit would have broke me for real. So I will always say that, like, I will always say that he took care of me, even when it came down to him dying. Even when it came down to him dying, he took care of me. Like, he set it up so perfectly for me to where it's like, she's gonna be sad, but this won't break her, because I've been with her through so much. So I know that she's ready now, and I know that she's strong now. So I'm not gonna fucking collapse on her and die on her and make her even more like upset. I'm gonna go lay down. I'm gonna wait for her, and she's gonna find me. I know she's gonna be the one to find me, because everybody else is gonna think I'm asleep. Oh my God, let me get my shit together. Let me get my shit together. But I'm gonna set her up so that she's gonna walk in and she's gonna find me, and she's gonna be fucking upset, because that's one thing I'm okay with. That's one thing I'm at peace with, is that I know that we both loved each other. Like, I know he knew that I loved him because of just the way that I took care of him, and the way that I just like always thought of him first. Like, I know that he knew that I loved him. So that's how I know I'm okay, or I'll be okay. I have to edit this out. I can't put this in there. I know that he knew that I loved him, and I know that he loved me, the way that he just went above and beyond to protect me and to make me feel safe. And just, he was so funny. His personality was so awesome. Like, I've never met a dog who had the same exact personality as his owner. Like, I've never seen that before. And that was just literally the best 4 years of my life. But the most insane part about all of it is, the past like 6 months or so, I want to say I've had like 3 dreams about Bane dying. Like, I remember there was this one time I had a dream about him dying, and I literally woke up in the middle of the night and I got on the floor where he was sleeping, and I cried, and I held him and I cried, because I was like, damn, like, I cannot imagine my life without this dog. Then, I want to say the week before Bane died, I went to get some drinks with my parents. And somehow the conversation got on the topic of just like dogs, and like we were talking about Bane. And my mom was like, damn, like, the worst part about having dogs is that they die, right? So we were on the topic of it, and I was telling them like, yo, I've had dreams about him dying. Like, I know that it's gonna fuck me up, but like, I'm low-key prepared because I had dreams about it before. My dad was like, damn, like, I didn't know that you have so many dreams about him, because before he died, right, I want to say like 85% of my dreams, he was in them. He was just actively in my dreams. I don't know if it was because he was the last person that I would see every night, because he would literally sleep on my floor. And you know how they say like a lot of your last thoughts carry over into your dreams? But he was always there. And he died a week later. And I literally remember the day that he died, I was like, no fucking way. The universe is gonna tell you what's about to happen to you in the most subtle possible way, to not freak you out and to not scare you, so that when it happens, you'll be like, oh my goodness, okay. That's why I'm like, I feel like if I didn't have those dreams, I would be so much more hurt than I am right now. Don't get me wrong, I'm hurt, I'm fucked up. Like, this is sad for me. But I really think that if I did not have those dreams, it probably would have affected me way more, because I don't think I would have saw it coming, which I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect to walk into my house that day. And it's so crazy because I usually go straight home, but something about me that day was just like, nah, like, I'm gonna just go run some errands, I'm gonna do this. And I didn't go straight home. But I didn't go straight home because my angels knew that I couldn't go straight home, because if I went straight home, he would have been alive when I got home, and he would have died on me. He would have died on me, or he would have been on my bedroom floor and he would have fucking died, and I would have lost my mind. So that's why I didn't go straight home. Everything makes sense after you learn the lesson you're supposed to learn. Everything. Everything. I have had an amazing support system around me. My family and my friends have been so awesome, because they know that like he meant a lot to me. I remember like 3 days after he died, I literally got home from work, put my car in parked, and walked straight to the backyard, and I just collapsed and laid in the grass in the pouring rain because he loved to just lay in the grass and be outside. That's one thing about him. He was so fucking similar to me. It was insane. He was so similar to me. He enjoyed fucking taking naps. He liked to try new foods. Oh my God, he loved food. He was so down for anything that had food with it. He liked to just chill. He liked to be outside in the grass, chilling with a bone, little snacks, you know, like he was so me in a dog. And it's just so insane how in tune we were with both of us. It's so crazy. My mom has a dog too in our house. He's 7 months. His name is Stitch. He's a French bulldog. He's still small. And I can tell that he's like so affected by me not being here too, because like the past couple of days he's been like taking naps in his bed. And it's just, I can tell he's just so upset. And I can tell he's reading my energy and just like, girl, like, I get it. Like, homie was cool. I only knew him for a couple months because I just got here. But, like, he was mad cool. So, I'm happy that I have Stitch, though, because he has been very helpful. Like, I think if my house was completely silent, it would have really drove me insane. Because I think that's one things that, like, I've really been having a hard time with is just the silence in my house. Like, Bane was a big ass dog. So, like, you heard everything he did. You heard every movement. Like, and he was just big and yeah. So now it's just like you don't hear no dog coming up the stairs with his long ass nails, his hard ass paws. You don't hear nothing besides Stitch and his little fucking trottle. But I don't know. It's just an up and down roller coaster of emotions because grief comes in so many different waves. It's like one day I'm crying, screaming, like, damn, like, I've really felt like I love that dog. I really do love him a lot, and I miss him every second because he really brought so much light to my life every day. And I think that's one thing I took for granted. I took two things for granted, actually. Just the safety and security that I felt because I knew he was big. And when it came to me, he wanted all the smoke. He was with the shits. He would bite anybody for me. So I think that safety and security that I had definitely took for granted because I was so comfortable with him. And I just feel like when you come home from a bad day and your dog is there waiting for you, like, yo, what's up? Like, I missed you. Like, how are you? Like, there's no better feeling than that. And I won't get to experience that anymore. I've been talking about my plans to move away and everything, and it's just like I always envisioned it would be me and him. Like, and I feel like he knew that he was like gonna be straight in life because he knew like there's this 20-year-old crazy woman taking care of me, and we about to move and we about to be alright. She about to get her life together. So he knew that I really, really wanted to get my apartment and get away from here and just have it be me and him. Like, that was all that I wanted for us. And I feel like I'm just so sad. So sad that it won't happen. And it's like whenever your dog dies, I feel like people really just don't know how to handle people when it comes to pet grief, because it's just like some people are animal lovers and some people aren't. So it's just like the people that aren't don't really get it, or the people that just haven't had that connection with a dog or haven't had their own dog, like they just don't understand it. And it's just like I can tell people are so sad for me because they know, like, I posted Bane all the time. Like, I always talked about Bane. Like, people knew Bane. So, like, I know people are so sad for me. And they're just like, damn, like, what do you do when, like, somebody's in this situation? Well, like, I'm proud of myself because I've been doing all the things that I need to do to, like, cope. Like, I've been going to therapy. I've been hanging out with my friends. I've been, like, allowing myself time to smoke and drink and do whatever I want to do and just be, you know, sad and mope. But like, I can either sit here and allow this to overcome me and just be sad and miserable, or I can like do the proper things that I need to do to heal in order to move on. But it's just like, for me, thinking about moving away now without him is so scary. Thinking about doing anything without him is so scary for me, because there's that lack of security and safety that I felt with him here. And it's just like, yo, if you have never had a connection with a dog like this, you're not gonna know, and I'm gonna sound crazy, but I promise I'm not. I promise I just really found my soulmate in a dog, and I lost him at 4 when we were supposed to do everything in life together. And I'm happy he's in heaven though, with my uncle and my cousin Khalid. You know, I know they're feeding him well, treating him well. You know, I was telling Messiah, my brother, that I felt like one of my angels sent me this dog, but at a certain point, Bane and my angels knew that I was strong enough to go on without him, and they wanted him back. Because the way this fucking dog carried me through life is insane. Like, I cried with him, I laughed with him, I ate with him, I played with him, I got ready every morning with him, I got ready for bed every night with him, went to sleep every night with him, woke up to him waking me up majority of the time. Like, all I know is this dog. And his tendencies and the way he took care of me were all too familiar. It reminds me of the way that my uncle and my cousin used to take care of me, who are now my angels. I remember he died a couple days before Father's Day, and I was telling my dad, like, I feel like my Uncle Armel was having a barbecue in heaven for Father's Day, and he needed Bane to be at the door because he finally wanted to meet him. But I had a dream that lets me know that he's okay and that he's happy. It's the craziest dream. You're going to think I'm lying, but I promise I'm not lying. The dream is me and my dad were in our living room, sitting there, right? And Stitch is there, Stitch is chilling. In the dream, it's known that Bane is not there. That's how I know that for a fact. Bane was not alive in the dream. My Ring camera goes off. So then I look on my phone on the Ring camera, and there's 3 silhouettes of fucking dogs. I walk down the stairs and I go open the front door. It's Bane with some dogs behind him, some bigger dogs. And I'm like, in the dream, I'm like, Dad, this dog looks just like Bane. Like, he's looking at me. This looks just like him. And I don't know if you can tell, but one thing about Bane, he had like the sweetest, beautiful brown eyes. I don't know if you can even see this. If you can, I'll insert it later. But he had the sweetest brown eyes. And when I said that in the dream, Bane used to do this little head nod thing that he used to do when he was like agreeing with me. And no. Did you see him nod to my pizza? No. And it was almost like he was like, yo, like, I'm okay. Like, look, I made these friends. They're dogs. They're good. You love dogs. Let's go see my mom. Like, I feel like he literally was like, let's go see my mom real quick at my house so that I can tell her that I'm here and I made it and I'm with y'all and I'm good and y'all can meet her. And it's just like the way the fucking dog looked at me in my dream. I know it was him. I know it was Bane. I know it was. I know it was. I know it was. I have never had a dream I've never had a dream about dogs without Bane being in it. I know it was him. And I also know it was him because his chain, look, I got a perfect picture of his chain right here. This is his fucking favorite chain. He literally wore it. Look, every picture he has this chain on, right? Fucking love this chain. When he died, when they put him in the room, I took his chain home with me. So I have it upstairs in my room on his, like, around his ashes or whatever. Because I got him cremated. I did get him cremated. Yes, I love him that much. I will, what? But yeah, I have his chain here. And in the dream, the dog didn't have on a chain. And that's how I know it was Bane, because I always used to tell him, right? When there would be times where I would take his chain off because I would either give him a bath, or I would take his chain off just to give him a break on his neck, just so he could walk around, just be free. And I would always tell him, like, Bane, you gotta put your chain back on, because I just hated the look of like a dog with no collar and no chain. Like, it just looked like he didn't have a home. And I always wanted to know, you have a home, like, you have a home, put your chain on. You don't need to be looking like these homeless dogs on the ASPC, whatever the thing is, the dog commercials. You are not homeless, so put your chain on. He knew that. Like, he literally knew. Like, whenever I would come and holding his chain, he knew, like, oh shit, my mom gonna put my chain back on, whatever. So I know that it was him in the dream, because he would have never been caught. He would have never been without a chain. And the fact that I took the chain, I know it was him. I know it was him. And then I had another dream like a day or two ago of, there was 2 king corsos in my room, and they both looked like Bane. Both of them, I swear to God. And I remember looking back and forth between the both of them like, whoa, which one is really you? And then I woke up because I was so fucking shook. I'm like, wait, 2 is crazy. But that is what has been going on with me. So I'm trying to grieve. I'm trying to get my life together. I'm trying to get used to a quiet ass house. I'm getting used to a whole different environment now, because Bane is not here. Now that he's not here, it's a totally different environment. Totally different. Like, totally different. So death is crazy. And I think the craziest part about death is that, you know, your mind knows that that person is dead. You know that they're never gonna come back. But it still doesn't stop your mind from like reminiscing and missing them and just yearning for them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a hard concept for me to watch my brain have to adjust to, you know? And I've never had somebody I lived with actually die, you know? So I'm trying to just allow myself to feel all the emotions and just allow myself to go through it. But it's taking a toll on me. I feel like I've been taking a lot of L's with such grace and such elegance and with such healthy approaches to my losses. And I need a break. I'm tired. I miss my fucking dog. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, that dog probably knew me more than most humans, and more than the people in my fucking house. So it's so strange to be without him. It's so strange. And I miss him. But I know he would be like, girl, you still gotta do what you're supposed to do, you know? Like, he was just amazing. And I'm so happy I have so many pictures and videos and things of us together. So I'm just so happy about that. But it just sucks. I'm just using this time to really clear my heart and get everything that I feel off my chest, and just try to cope and heal and move on and just get through this, because this shit is fucking hard. So let me see if I covered all my talking points. So what's gonna be going on with me then, I guess? This week I'm kind of free. I'm gonna be doing a lot of podcast stuff. I'm also happy because summer's out, school's out, so we're on summer vacation. I'm working summer school with some of my students from the last school year, which I'm excited about. That starts next week. So that starts next week. So I'm gonna be having stuff to do throughout the summer, but it's just like, I have the time now to really grieve. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, he couldn't have left me at a more perfect time, realistically, because it's summertime. You know, my school's out. I really don't have the commitment of going to like a job every day, because we're in summer school and we're really just chilling. You know, we're not doing too much every day. So that's cool. What the fuck is that from? That's cool, but he really couldn't have set me up in a better way. And it's just like, this is what I mean when I tell you this dog looked out for me in life and in death, because he made sure it was the easiest, smoothest route for me. And I love him for that. And I really will always miss this dog. And it just sucks. If you have pets, love on them. That shit is so unexpected, and I never in a million years thought I would have to live my life without him, but that was pretty naive of me to think. And I think that's one of the lessons here that I'm supposed to be learning too. Don't get too comfortable. You know what I mean? I got too comfortable in this environment because we were good here, you know? It was me and him, but we were good here. And now it's time for me to really boss up and be even greater than I am right now, and just learn and heal and continue to grow and do the things that I've always said I wanted to do with him, you know? So it's just a lot for me. So bear with me this season. I'm trying to wrap the season up, child. I really am, but it's just like, can I get a break in life? Like, I don't know. So hopefully when y'all hear this episode, y'all will understand why I've taken such a long time off and why this has been the hardest year for me, really. Like, this whole year has been hard. I don't know why, but it has. And I just hope everybody that is taking some losses right now and doesn't really feel like they have their best foot forward to understand that it'll be okay. You'll be all right. You'll get through everything that you need to get through. You just have to go through the emotions first. And I hate to say that to you, but that's just a part of life, you know? That's what I'm learning right now. So keep your head up to everybody that doesn't feel like themselves. Keep your head up to everybody that's going through something. You know what I mean? If you feel alone, I promise you're not. There's always somebody out there that can relate to you and that actually cares about you and wants to hear your story. So lean on the people around you, and take care of yourself, for real. Take care of yourself. Bye, I love y'all. It's okay to not be in your most creative mode at every single point of your creative journey. It's not gonna happen like that. So let's normalize just, you know, getting in your bag, focusing on yourself, taking a step back from your craft for a minute to get your mind right, get you right. And then when you come back, make sure you double it. That's all. That's it.